In 1979, the last Iranian Shah, of a crown that had lasted 2,500 years, left his country in exile. A far cry from Shahanshah, a title that he had given himself and literally meant King of Kings. Like many Muslim nations, there seems to be a cultural tension at the heart of Iran, between a religious identity and a more liberal and contemporary version of being Iranian. Of the century's great revolutions, Russia in 1917, China in 1949, and Iran in 1979, Iran is the only country that has some resemblance to its original revolutionary aims, with the supreme religious cleric, Ayatollah, still reigning supreme. This has put a strain on the fabric of the country, much of which is extremely liberal and progressive. However, before I expand on the growing fissure in Iran, I would like to allude to the theme that unifies the disagreeing sides in the country, as well as previous regimes it's had. There is an underlying desire that wants Iran to live up to its greatness. Of course, the vehicles by which Iranians believe that this greatness can be achieved by differs, but there is a sense that there can be no room for unfulfilled potential in Iran. This may stem from a sense of history, which has the knack of installing a large dosage of national pride into its peoples. For example, Turkey, and even the UK to an extent, still has an imperial hangover of sorts. This, of course, has many manifestations, seen by the country's curbed nuclear ambition, their lack of reluctance to stand up to America and its allies, as well as their entry into regional politics, and even a foray into cyber warfare, much of which has put a disproportionate strain on the country's finances. Despite the consensus that Iran is great, there are strong disagreements on what this form of greatness should take. The progressive and dynamic youth of Iran and the aging theocracy are heading for a collision course. There are many apparent contradictions in the country, with 60% of university places reserved for women, a far cry from Saudi Arabia's ban on female drivers. However, the hijab is still mandatory, and printed photos of women without head coverings are still extremely rare. A notable recent exception is Maryam Mirzakhani, the Fields medalist who passed away from breast cancer. She was blasted across Iran's main papers without a headscarf. Perhaps her example is a good metaphor for the contradiction within the country itself. However, clerics and kings have always agreed that Iran's true position lies as a global player, and they definitely do not like being told what to do.